The grass court season had barely opened its doors, and already Alexandra Eala was forcing the tennis world to completely rethink everything they thought they knew about her. This was supposed to be a quiet opening round, a routine WTA 125 match tucked away in Birmingham, while the tennis spotlight still lingered on Roland Garros highlights and the early whispers surrounding Wimbledon. Instead, what unfolded on the pristine lawns of the Edgbaston Priory Club on June 2, 2026 became one of the most explosive performances of the entire year. The scoreline alone looked shocking enough to stop people mid-scroll. 6-0. 6-2. 59 minutes. But numbers only tell a fraction of the story. Because Alexandra Eala did not merely beat Australia's Priscilla Hon, she overwhelmed her. She suffocated her. She played with the kind of precision, violence, composure, and clarity that transforms a promising young player into something far more dangerous. A legitimate Wimbledon threat. And perhaps the most stunning part of all? She looked completely calm while doing it. Good evening and welcome to this special extended deep dive edition of our global tennis coverage. Tonight, we are unpacking the match that has completely altered the emotional landscape of the 2026 grass court season before it has even truly begun. A match that has sent shock waves through locker rooms, fan communities, analyst circles, and sports media worldwide. Because when Alexandra Eala walked onto Court 1 in Birmingham, she carried far more than a racket. She carried pressure, expectation, fatigue, the emotional residue of a painful clay season. And somehow, she turned all of it into fuel. To fully understand why this performance matters so much, we need to rewind the clock just a little. 6 days earlier, Alexandra Eala was sitting on court 14 at Roland Garros after a heartbreaking first-round loss to one of her closest friends on tour, Iva Jovic. It was not merely another defeat. It felt emotionally draining. The clay season had become increasingly frustrating. Early exits, difficult draws, questions about her consistency, questions about whether the rapid rise of the Filipino star had temporarily outpaced reality. International tennis outlets had begun publishing articles openly debating whether Eala had become overhyped. Some critics pointed to her limited Grand Slam success. Others focused on her inconsistent clay results. A few analysts questioned whether her explosive rise during the previous hardcourt swing had created unrealistic expectations. And then came Birmingham. Grass is the most ruthless surface in professional tennis. There is no patience on grass, no time to recover, no room to slowly build rhythm. Points explode into existence and disappear just as quickly. A mistimed step can end a rally. One weak serve can cost an entire game. The transition from clay to grass has broken experienced champions before. Even legends struggle with it. Players spend weeks adjusting footwork, timing, movement patterns, and court positioning. Yet Alexandra Eala stepped onto Birmingham grass looking like she had already solved the surface. That was the first thing that shocked everyone. Not just the victory, the certainty. From the opening rally, there was absolutely no hesitation in her game. No nervous testing phase. No searching for rhythm. No cautious movement. She attacked immediately. The first few points told the entire story. Eala stood aggressively inside the baseline, taking returns unbelievably early and redirecting pace with laser precision. Priscilla Hon barely had time to settle into the match before the pressure began swallowing her whole. Within minutes, Eala had broken serve. Then she held easily. Then she broke again. The speed of the destruction became unsettling. Commentators initially tried to explain it as fast momentum. But by the time the scoreboard reached 4-0 after barely 15 minutes, the tone in the broadcast booth had completely changed. This was not momentum anymore. This was domination. And context matters here. Priscilla Hon is not inexperienced. She is not unfamiliar with fast surfaces. She is Australian, raised in a tennis culture deeply connected to grass court traditions. Even more importantly, she had beaten Alexandra Eala before. Back in Ningbo qualifying in late 2024, Hon defeated Eala in straight sets. She had already solved this puzzle once. Or at least she thought she had. But the version of Alexandra Eala that arrived in Birmingham looked entirely different. Stronger, faster, sharper, more aggressive, more composed. Her serve placement was exceptional. Her footwork looked explosive. And her forehand, traditionally loaded with heavy topspin on clay and hard courts, had evolved beautifully for grass. Instead of looping through the court, the ball skidded low and deep, rushing through the Birmingham grass with frightening penetration. Priscilla Hon simply could not handle the pace. And perhaps even more devastating than the power itself was the consistency. There were almost no errors. Every return came back deep. Every rally felt tilted. Every point seemed to begin with Eala already in control. By the 19-minute mark of the match, Alexandra Eala was serving for the first set. Think about that carefully. 19 minutes, at a professional tournament, against an experienced opponent, on one of the most unpredictable surfaces in tennis. The first set ended 6-0 in only 22 minutes. Bagel. But not an ordinary bagel. This was psychological suffocation. The crowd inside Edgbaston Priory Club fell into that strange mixture of excitement and disbelief that only happens when spectators realize they are witnessing something special. Phones came out. Clips started circulating online almost instantly. Social media feeds began exploding with reactions. Who is stopping Alex Eala on grass? Wimbledon dark horse. This is terrifying. Tennis world on notice. And the frightening part. The match was only halfway finished. Because the second set revealed something even more impressive than Eala's shot-making. Her mentality. Most players naturally experience some emotional drop after winning a first set 6-0. Intensity fades slightly. Focus softens. Opponents relax and swing more freely. Momentum shifts. But Alexandra Eala never blinked. She opened the second set with exactly the same aggression. Same intensity. Same sharp movement. Same ruthless returning. She broke serve immediately again. Then again. The scoreboard suddenly read 6-0, 4-0. 10 consecutive games. At this level, that is terrifying. It means one player has completely taken ownership of the emotional reality of the match. Priscilla Hon looked trapped. Not because she lacked skill, but because Alexandra Eala was giving her absolutely no space to breathe. Every time Hon attempted to change pace, Eala countered instantly. Every short ball was punished. Every second serve became a target. And perhaps the most brutal moment arrived shortly afterward. Serving at 30-0, Priscilla Hon appeared finally ready to get on the board. The crowd began applauding encouragement. But pressure changes everything in tennis. Under the suffocating weight of Eala's relentless intensity, Hon suddenly double-faulted. One small crack. But against Alexandra Eala on this afternoon, one crack became fatal. Eala attacked immediately, clawing her way back into the game before breaking serve once again for 5-0. At that point, the possibility of a double bagel suddenly became real. And yet, to Hon's credit, she kept fighting. Professional pride matters. She finally held serve to avoid the shutout, earning one of the loudest cheers of the afternoon. Then she broke Eala once as the Filipina briefly missed a return on match point. For a moment, there was a flicker of tension. Would nerves appear? Would serving for the match become complicated? But that tiny window closed instantly. Alexandra Eala walked calmly back to the baseline with the composure of a veteran champion. No panic. No frustration. No emotional wobble. She reset, served brilliantly, and closed the match moments later. 59 minutes. Finished. The handshake at the net was respectful. But the message sent to the rest of the tournament was absolutely chilling. The top seed had arrived. And she looked terrifying. This performance matters for reasons far beyond Birmingham itself. Because grass court tennis exposes weaknesses faster than any other surface. If your movement is uncertain, grass reveals it immediately. If your confidence is fragile, grass destroys it quickly. If your reactions are slow by even half a second, the match disappears before you can adjust. Alexandra Eala looked completely at home. That changes everything. For years, tennis fans have spoken about her potential. The Rafa Nadal Academy product. The Junior Grand Slam champion. The pride of the Philippines. The face of Southeast Asian tennis. But potential eventually demands proof. Today felt like proof. Not theoretical greatness. Not future possibilities. Real danger. Right now. And perhaps that is why this result feels emotionally overwhelming for so many fans around the world. Because Alexandra Eala is carrying something much bigger than rankings. She represents possibility itself. The Philippines has never traditionally been viewed as a tennis superpower. Southeast Asia has rarely produced players capable of threatening the elite at Grand Slams. Yet here stands Alexandra Eala, forcing the entire tennis establishment to pay attention. Every victory shifts the conversation. Every breakthrough expands what young athletes from her region believe is possible. And Birmingham may become remembered as a turning point. Not because it was the biggest title. Not because it was a Grand Slam. But because this was the moment Alexandra Eala stopped looking like a promising future contender and started looking like someone capable of terrifying the best players in the world on grass. Now the questions surrounding Wimbledon feel completely different. Can she secure a seeding? Can she survive the brutal early rounds? Can her aggressive game translate onto the biggest courts in tennis? Can she become the first Filipina player to make a truly historic run at the All England club? Those questions no longer feel unrealistic. They feel urgent. And the entire locker room knows it. Potential future opponents are now studying the Birmingham footage carefully. Because what happened to Priscilla Hon was not random. It was systematic, strategic, clinical. Alexandra Eala flattened her forehand perfectly for grass. She attacked second serves fearlessly. She anticipated beautifully. She moved with confidence. And perhaps most importantly of all, she competed with complete emotional control. That combination is dangerous on grass. Very dangerous. As the 2026 grass season accelerates toward Wimbledon, one thing has suddenly become impossible to ignore. Alexandra Eala is no longer just a feel-good story. She is no longer just a talented young player carrying national pride. She is becoming a genuine threat. A player capable of overwhelming experienced opponents with speed, precision, and fearless aggression. And after what the world witnessed in Birmingham, nobody will underestimate her again. The grass season has officially begun. And Alexandra Eala may have just announced herself as its most explosive story.